What is up, guys? So I made it my first petition, and AI wrote a lot of it, but I had to premise the idea. I just want to say question mark. What I mean? I posted this to a couple subreddits to see what they would say. I got two signatures on this, and I think one of them is me. But I just have to say, we live in a society in Canada where we're very socialist, liberal, but we do believe in capitalism. But I realize that the heart of the people that are on disability are still selfish people. They don't want to put the work in collectively as a people and raise the baseline of what poverty is. I have people DMing me saying, just make your money, take the deductions, and live your life. But then I look at social media and all I see is people crying on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram about how it sucks to be poor, how it sucks to be disabled, how it sucks to have no money, how it sucks to have to go to food banks. And I just look at this shit and I'm like, brother, I'm offering a program, right? And the premise is this. So every time when you sign up to a website, whether it's Twitter, Twitch, Kick, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, they'll all be monetized, even Snapchat. Defaultly, you're not monetized at all. Eventually, once you meet monetization requirements or you pay to win, you pay to get monetized, you'll get monetized and you can make money off social media and carry and you can sell your life. You can pimp out your heart and sell your life. I wanted to make a program to stay on disability because there's a limit for what I can make. So I can only make about $7,100 a year. After that, I have the potential to get kicked off of disability because they think I'm okay to work simply because it's retarded. Like I'm gonna use the language. I'm gonna use the language. It's retarded. They're gonna make me, a man that has disabilities, a man with schizophrenia, go out there and work simply because I can press a record button. I've had episodes, I've had manic episodes, I've had schizophrenic episodes, I've had psychosis, I've had a bunch of things happen to me, but I'm trying to be an eager person to push the boundaries of what a disabled person can do. Currently, disabled people are just paying rent, eating food, browsing social media, and going to sleep. I don't believe that. I believe that if with the right motivation, people can make money and change lives, right? And I personally believe my social media presence one day, it could be 20 years from now, 15 years from now, or a couple years from now, I'll be making minimum $100,000 per year on social media, all platforms, whatever it is, minimum $100,000 because I am a content machine. And what I wanted to do was to stay on disability. I have a good job, I have benefits, I get long-term disability payments, but I also get CBP disability. So I'm pretty much good. I'm pretty much good to go until I die. But I want to elevate the position that I'm in and spread the wealth to other people. Now, I looked at the hearts of people, and this is a bit of a shit test. Excuse my French or whatever you want to call it, but my language. But people just aren't there. They're not there to collectively rise as a people. They're not there for general assembly. They're not there for protests. They're not there for petitions. It's ridiculous. My premise was this, right? And this is the breakdown of the idea, right? We'll switch over to the desktop cam. So this is the petition. I'll leave it in the comment section. Create a revenue sharing service for ODSP/CPPs-D recipients. In the USA, I believe in the future, this could be applied to veterans, for example. You can pool your social media revenue to veterans, and we as a class of consciousness would rise up, right? And this would be the betterment of those entire people. Now, of course, it's not expected for you to make a shit ton of money and stay on the program. At any time, you could leave. But in the meanwhile, while you're starting, you can get onto this program. You can make a little bit of money. And I'm talking if there are millions of people on disability in Canada, millions of people, and most of them speak English, most of them aren't severely disabled, most of them can, have a little bit of productivity attached to them, they can get on this program. Basically, when I sign up for Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, whatever it is, monetization, I get a SIN number that's a pooled SIN number. That SIN number, that social identification number, is my government number. It collects revenue and stuff. The revenue that I get from these platforms, these social media platforms, will be pooled towards that SIN number that's pooled, and then it'll be redistributed to every single person that's on disability payments, on CPPD, Canadian Pension Plan Disability, and on ODSP, Ontario Disability. support program. And we'd have this for BC, Quebec, all these provinces, and eventually, when we set the premise, the bar, which we're not really doing, and a lot of countries aren't doing anyways, they're not being forward thinking. But when we set the bar and we have crazy honest success, it's gonna be awesome. We're raising the baseline of what it's like to be in poverty, right? And recently we had the Canada Disability Benefit, which is pretty good. Like $200 a month, my mom gets it. Beautiful, thank you, I appreciate that. But I don't get that because I make a little bit too much money with my disability payments. I'm not eligible for it. A lot of people aren't. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping for this program to come to existence, right? And you can read about it over here in the petition. The link will be in the bio. But I personally believe if we had a program like this, we could have creator codes on video games, right? So when you go to Fortnite and you want to buy skin, right now they have streamer codes and Fortnite partner codes. We can have a generic code for charities and for this pooled SIN number, right? So let's say I put the pooled SIN number in. Let's say, for example, I make $1 million in a year, and I'm a good-hearted person. Maybe it's my last year being on the program because I realized that I can do it financially free or whatever it is. But I made $1 million, and I said, you know what? It's my time to give back a little bit, just a little bit. $1 million is a lot of money. Now you could pull it for yourself, but it takes time because social media is up in the air with the algorithms, and you might not get super famous. You might not make a shit ton of money, but you'll make money. I made $1 million. It gets pooled into this revenue distribution program, and then it gets distributed to every single person that's on ODSP, disability support programs, or Canadian pension plan disability. The baseline of poverty gets raised, my friend. It gets raised. Now, you might not be a socialist. You might not be anything. You might just be a neutral person. You might just say, fuck it, I'm born Canadian. I'm born American. It is what it is. It's a system. It's the government. I just vote and I just let the big guys take care of it. That's fine. But you have a chance to have a voice in something by signing this petition. You have a chance for people that are under disability or veterans or whatever it is to take initiative and be productive with their days. We've seen how the internet can change people's lives. One moment of virality can change your entire life, especially if you capitalize on it. But many people, they fade away from the internet's glory and they fade to nothing. They're irrelevant. So capitalizing on that 5 seconds of fame is huge. Billions of people will know your name one day. Billions of people. And if you had everything monetized, my God, that's a lot of revenue. That's a lot of revenue right now. Currently, I believe, in the far, far future, if I had the choice and we had, the provincial powers or the governmental powers to do this, I make it so everyone in entire Canada would be on this program, even little kids. I'm talking people in grade school, people in daycare, people in all that stuff. It'd go to a private fund, into their RRSPs, their registered education saving plans, or whatever it was, but it'd be a donation from people that are working and hardworking people. So let's say, for example, I raise $1 million, and let's say we go for the example, you're not disabled, whatever it is, but you like the program. That's fine. The legislative work is there, but we'll have different pool numbers. One for every Canadian, one for disability people only, one for the youth of Canada. You know what I mean? Not the criminal youth, sorry. The youth, the mental health, the little kids. You'll be able to donate your money to these programs and help people out and get more people educated. And a more educated society means more productivity. A more productivity society means more GDP, less criminals on the streets, more jobs, better living, better everything. We've seen the quality of life in Canada, the first world countries, fall off the map. And we've seen corporate greed just rise and rise and rise and rise. Ridiculous. It's ridiculous. This is a socialism type of arrangement, but I believe it can have great prosperity. But let's say, for example, right? Eventually, I raise $1 million for this program, whatever it is. I get a citizenship award, a grace, whatever it is, a tax break and all that stuff. Great, glorious, glorious, glorious. Eventually, when I'm confident enough, I'll be able to say, you know what? I don't need this. I don't need the disability program anymore. I can pay for myself. Let's see what we can do. I'll go out there and be an entrepreneur. But I also have a pooled method. And the pool method would say for every Canadian, I get an optional SIN number. I get paid my own money, but I say 10% of my revenue goes to the pool. Every kid would get a portion of that money. $1 million, and we only have 40 million people, so it'd be like a couple. It'd be like a couple dimes, really, like maybe a few dimes, maybe a few nickels. But over time, across multiple people doing this, we can see greatness form. We can see higher education rates, less criminal rates, less youth in prison, less youth doing stupid shit. People with futures can plan their lives. They can go on vacation finally. A first world country where people go on vacation annually and it's respected? Great. We can work on socialism, 4-day work weeks, making the average Canadian's life happier, less suicides, less people in prison, better thinking, more philosophy, better education. There's endless possibilities, guys. And I just want to have the opportunity to do this because I know some of you, you want to have 5 houses, you want to have mansions, you want to be the next Kaiserslautern and have Bugattis and Lambos and Rolls Royces and all this crazy shit. I personally don't care about that capitalism point. I don't care about life like that. I'm here to do good. I only have 20 to 30 years left to live. I'm here to just celebrate life, raise it up. If I can send a couple kids to school, it'd be awesome. You know what I mean? It'd be fucking awesome. It'd just be awesome for me. So please think about signing the petition. Um, it's Canada only. I believe I said it's Canada only. But just think about it, guys. Just think about what we can do with the situation. And when more politicians get their better minds on this program, on this little bit of a petition, we can reap more benefits, more rewards. Some people, for example, are extremely into sports. Let's say, for example, right? When you do your taxes or whatever it is, and you before you get your tax return or whatever it is, you go to the CRA website, the Canada Revenue Agency website, and there's a slider, and you say, you know what, I want to donate 6% of my income, all of my income, to helping kids go back to sports. So we're talking about getting hockey masks and hockey pucks and hockey sticks, cricket bats, baseball diamonds, baseball gear to kids, making them athletic again, making them do stuff again. And there'll be a little bit of an optional ticker under that says once the funds are met, the government will redistribute it to everyone in the country. They'll have a private banking account which they can get this money once they turn 18. Or if they're seriously going homeless, whatever it is, they'll have access to money right away. We've done a lot as a country, but we can do more. We can do more, okay? We've done a lot as a country, but we can do more, right? Obama had yes we can. I'm gonna have the other one as my slogan. Please, guys, think about signing it. It'd be great. There's some people who want to actually give back to the communities, to Canada and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, but I had a Canada food program at my school. I needed that. I needed that. I got a scholarship. I needed that. I paid my taxes. I needed that. I got good benefits and a good job. I needed that. We can do greater things, guys. Greater things. Just think about it. Petitions will be in the comment, the link in bio on YouTube and on Twitter or on my link tree. All right? Just think about it. Thank you.